Good day, citizens of Southern Africa. When citizens are shot, jailed, or forced to eat poverty for breakfast, SADC remains asleep, snoring through the screams of Southern Africa. But let one of their fellow presidents sneeze, and suddenly there is a statement of concern, a fact-finding mission, and a promise to facilitate dialogue. The latest example? The statement by Malawi's President Arthur Peter Mutharika, Chairperson of the SADC Organ on Politics, Defense and Security, reacting to Madagascar's unfolding crisis. Yes, SADC, that loyal club of crisis recyclers, now deeply concerned about the threat to constitutional order. You can almost hear the printers humming in Gaborone as they dust off the same old template used during Zimbabwe's 2017 coup, Eswatini's 2021 protests, and Mozambique's Cabo Delgado disaster. Different country, same tired vocabulary. We call for calm, restraint, and dialogue. A language so sterile it could be used to disinfect hypocrisy. But justice, accountability, not a word. Because SADC's concern is never for the people. It's always for the presidents. It's a bloc that moves at lightning speed when a leader's chair shakes, but crawls like a snail when the citizens bleed. In Zimbabwe, SADC watched a war country slide from a coup into chaos, called it a military-assisted transition, and applauded the generals for their restraint. When Mnangagwa rigged the 2023 elections, with arrests, midnight abductions, and soldiers chasing away opposition polling agents, SADC observers briefly grew courage and said the vote was not credible. Within days, that truth was buried under a layer of brotherly solidarity. And the next time the presidents met, they smiled for the cameras and toasted to regional peace. In Eswatini, King Mswati's forces shot young protesters dead for daring to demand democracy. The blood was still wet on the tarmac when SADC sent a delegation to engage the parties. They arrived in designer suits, took photos at the Royal Palace, ate hotel buffet lunches, and left without meeting a single victim. The king got international cover, the citizens got silence, and SADC got another chance to prove that it stands for silence after death comes. SADC, silence after death comes. Then there's Mozambique, where entire villages in Cabo Delgado were wiped out by extremist violence. For years, SADC watched the carnage unfold without a word. Only when multinational companies, especially Total Energies, suspended their gas operations did the bloc suddenly rediscover its duty to intervene. The message was clear. Corporate interests ignite SADC's compassion faster than human suffering ever could. And now Madagascar. Soldiers join protest against President Rajoelina, the same man who once took power through a coup in 2009, and suddenly SADC is gravely concerned. Rajoelina's past didn't bother them then. In fact, they rehabilitated him into the club. But now that the soldiers are turning against him, the bloc has rediscovered its moral compass. Not to defend democracy, but to defend a fellow member of the club. They don't even hide it anymore. This is SADC's true legacy. Not defender of Southern Africa, but the custodian of incumbents. A brotherhood of presidents who protect each other from the very people they govern. They meet in luxury resorts, sign meaningless communiques, and call themselves the voice of regional unity. In reality, they are the echo chamber of their own cowardice, They preach African solutions to African problems, but what they really mean is presidential solutions to citizens' complaints. When the people of Zimbabwe screamed for help in 2008 as Mugabe and his security chiefs unleashed violence, SADC called it an internal matter. Mbeki even said, "There's no crisis in Zimbabwe." When the opposition cried foul in 2013 and 2023, they shrugged. When journalists were jailed, they said dialogue is ongoing. But when Mugabe's comrades turned on him in 2017, SADC met within hours. Soldiers in the streets? No problem. It's orderly. A coup by another name, sanitized and signed off with regional applause. Even in Lesotho, when politicians couldn't stop fighting, SADC's intervention was not to fix democracy, but to keep the Prime Minister's office warm for whoever could be controlled. The military was never reformed, the constitution never modernized, but photo ops were plenty. SADC's silence has never been accidental. It is structural. The organization was built to protect power, not people. Its founding documents speak of sovereignty more than rights, and of peace more than justice. That's why it barks when presidents are under siege and plays dead when citizens are starving. It's not a watchdog of democracy. It's a security guard for political elites. The bloc is now backing over Madagascar, lecturing about constitutional order as if the people of Madagascar have ever truly benefited from the order they are defending. Ordinary citizens in the region hear these statements and laugh bitterly because they have seen the same movie play out in Zimbabwe, Eswatini, and Mozambique. With the same ending, the leaders remain, the people suffer, and SADC writes another report that no one reads. Every time SADC issues a statement, the citizens of the regions should ask, where were you when we needed you? Where were you when our elections were stolen? When our protesters were shot? When our hospitals ran out of medicine? When our teachers and nurses went months without pay? Why do you only remember the word peace when your friends are threatened? Because the truth is, SADC's peace is not the peace of the people. It is the peace of presidents. It is the peace of silence, of fear, of compliance. It is the peace of the palace, not the village. So yes, SADC is backing again. But as always, it's backing at the wrong thing. It backs when a president trembles, not when a mother buries a child. It backs to protect the gate of power, not the home of the people. It backs loud enough to be heard by the world, but never strong enough to bite injustice. Until the day SADC grows real teeth, teeth that bite dictatorship, corruption, and electoral fraud, it will remain what it always has been, a toothless dog, leashed to the hands that feed it, barking for its masters while the people of Southern Africa continue to live and die in the shadows of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to Zimwaves TV, where we tell you as it is.